Welcome students, welcome to the new class. I am Muhammad Tanbir Ahmed, lecturer, Department of Civil Engineering, World University of Bangladesh. Today we are going to start our first lecture. The course we will study today is Water Supply Engineering Sessional. This is a practical class. This subject belongs to Environmental Engineering, and in this subject we will demonstrate and perform water quality analysis in accordance with Bangladesh standards and World Health Organization standards. There is a prerequisition for this course, and it is water supply engineering. In this lecture, we will discuss about rationale and course outcomes, mission and vision of World University of Bangladesh, and water sample collection process. That means how water sample will have to be collected for laboratory analysis. Rationale. This course belongs to environmental engineering, and it will focus on different laboratory tests of water quality parameters and the skills to judge the properties of drinking water and wastewater on the basis of Bangladesh and World Health Organization standards. That means to justify the properties of water is the main objective of this course. Outcomes. This course has 3 outcomes, and at the end of the course, students will be able to explain different testing procedures to evaluate the water quality parameters, compare the tested value with Bangladesh and WHO water quality standards, and can conclude and justify the acceptability of drinking water. In this course, we will perform the following laboratory analysis, which are determination of pH of water, that means determination of potential of hydrogen of water, determination of color of water, determination of turbidity of water, determination of total solids, total suspended solids, and total dissolved solids of water, determination of carbon dioxide of water, determination of alkalinity and hardness of water, determination of chloride in water, determination of biochemical oxygen demand, determination of chemical oxygen demand, determination of arsenic in water, and determination of iron in water. We will demonstrate single experiment in each week. First, we will introduce about the mission and vision of the university and also the department. World University of Bangladesh is a renowned private university which has established in the year of 2003. Our Vice Chancellor is Professor Dr. Abdul Mannan Chowdhury sir. Proud to say that he is a freedom fighter and a former selection grade professor of the University of Dhaka. Vision of World University of Bangladesh. The vision of the university is to create leaders who will have enormous contribution to economic emancipation and social well-being of the country using his or her brain. This is really very great. Mission of World University of Bangladesh. The mission of the university is to become a university with quality and distinction, enabling students not only to flourish academically but also personally and socially. And the most important point is through utilitarian education with an affordable cost. And to achieve this vision, the university are continually being updated and improved to reflect the latest development in engineering educational area. Vision of Civil Engineering Department. The vision of the Civil Engineering Department is to be an internationally renowned department that will create leaders of the leaders who will contribute the economic emancipation and the national development of civil engineering field. Mission of Civil Engineering Department. The mission of the Civil Engineering Department is to advance engineering knowledge and learning, to fulfill the aspiration of the university and the nation through utilitarian education and research. First, we will introduce about water quality analysis. That means, what is water quality analysis? Water quality analysis is used to measure the required parameters of water following standards method to check whether they are in accordance with the standard. Requirement of water quality analysis. Water quality analysis is required for the following purposes. They are: first one is to check whether the water quality is in compliance with the standards and hence suitable or not for the designated use. As we know, water quality varies based on its uses. Then, to monitor the efficiency of a system working for water quality maintenance. And the last one is to check whether upgradation or change of an existing system is required and to decide what changes should take place. If some parameters do not match with standards, that means the efficiency of the system or treatment plant is decreasing and hence upgradation or change of the system is required. Sampling of water for analysis. To analyze water, first we need to collect the sample, and sampling is very much important for water quality analysis. Errors may occur in water quality analysis for improper sampling. The results of a water quality analysis of a sample show only what is in the sample. That means we can get materials that exist in water by analysis of it. For the results to be meaningful, the sample must be representative. That is, it must contain essentially the same constituents of the body of water from which it was taken. Requirements for sampling. When sampling, we should consider the following requirements. First, handle the sample carefully so that it does not deteriorate or become contaminated or compromised before it is analyzed. Then, ensure that all sampling equipments are clean before use to avoid contamination. Rinse the bag or bottle at least twice with the sample water prior to filling, so that the collected water does not mix with any good or worse quality water and the results deteriorate. Fill bag or bottle as full as possible. Half-filling bag or bottle may have space for oxygen, which will promote degradation of the sample. As in half-filled bottle, the half space will be covered by air and the oxygen present in air can deteriorate the result. If sampling a body of running water, point the mouth of the bag upstream and your hand downstream to avoid contamination. If sampling from a water faucet, that means from a tube or funnel, run the faucet for 1 minute before obtaining the sample so that the faucet becomes clean. Requirements for water sampling. Make records of every sample collected and identify every bottle. For example, take notes and photographs, fill out tags, etc. All samples must be preserved as soon as possible to get the accurate results. Water sampling techniques. There are 3 techniques for water sampling and they are graph sampling, composite sampling, and integrated sampling. Now, what is graph sampling? Graph samples are samples collected at a particular time and space. They represent the composition at the time and place. When a source is known to vary in time, for example in case of waste effluent, graph samples collected at suitable time intervals and analyzed separately. It is appropriate method for data collection for non-conservative parameters such as temperature, dissolved oxygens, ammonia and nitrogen. Composite sampling. Composite samples are a mixture of graph samples collected at one sampling point at different times. Individual samples are collected in wide-mouth bottles every hour and mixed it in volume proportional to the flow or by using specially designed automatic sampling devices. So we can say a composite sample is a combination of individual samples collected over a designated period of time. A composite sample is statistically more reliable than a graph sample. Now, advantage of composite sample. It reduced cost of analyzing a large number of samples. In composite sampling techniques, we can get more representative samples of varied conditions. We can also get larger sample sizes, but the amounts of test samples are limited. Now, integrated sampling. Integrated samples are a mixture of graph samples collected from different points simultaneously and mixed in equal volumes. Surface water sampling techniques. When the water source is accessible. That means when we can easily get in touch with the water sources such as rivers, oceans, lakes, etc. in a plain space. And to sample from these sources, we have to rinse the sampling vessel with water on site at least 3 to 4 times to avoid contamination. Then, care must be taken to avoid contaminating water to be sampled during rinsing. Submerge the sampling vessel gently, fill it with the water sample and close it tightly. If the collected water sample may be frozen, leave some space for expansion equivalent to about 10% of the sampling vessels. And when we will collect water, when the water source is inaccessible, for example, we can say water sources from a dug well, we have to take a rope attached to the bucket to collect the water. Scoops with adjustable shafts are more convenient to use. Now, sample preserving. Commonly used preserving methods are pH control, chemical addition, the use of amber and opaque bottles, refrigeration, filtration, and freezing. That is the end of our today's lecture. Thank you everyone.